Most people over 60 do this every day without a second thought. You step outside to get the mail, drive to the store, water the garden, or take a short walk, and because it feels harmless, you leave your sunglasses behind. But what many people never realize is that this ordinary habit can quietly expose your eyes to years of invisible ultraviolet damage. And because it does not sting, bleed, or hurt in the moment, it feels safe even when it is not. That is why so many people feel fine while their long-term risk climbs. The lens inside your eye can slowly grow cloudy, the retina can absorb light stress day after day, and your sharp central vision can begin fading before you understand what changed. By the time many adults notice halos, glare, blurred print, or trouble recognizing faces, cataracts or macular damage may already be building. More than half of Americans age 80 or older either have cataracts or have already needed surgery, and age-related macular degeneration is a leading cause of serious vision loss after 65. Stay with me, because what I am about to show you could change how you protect your eyesight starting today. I am going to show you the habit, the hidden damage, and the simple fixes that help protect your vision.
Picture this.
You wake up, make your coffee, glance out the kitchen window, and see a bright but slightly cloudy morning. Because the sun does not feel harsh, you head outside bare-eyed to grab the newspaper, drive to the pharmacy, or pull a few weeds before lunch. That simple moment feels harmless. In fact, it feels so ordinary that most people never question it. But here is what most people never realize. Your eyes do not need to feel heat for light damage to begin. Ultraviolet radiation is invisible, and over time, it can place stress on the lens, the cornea, and even deeper structures that help you see clearly. According to major public health organizations, long-term UV exposure is linked to cataracts, and experts also warn that it may play a role in age-related macular degeneration, a condition that damages the macula, the part of the retina responsible for sharp central vision. This is where the real danger begins. The damage is cumulative. It adds up during short errands, during gardening, while walking the dog, while sitting near a sunny window, and especially while driving, because sunlight can bounce off pavement, dashboards, water, and windshields straight into your eyes. Reflective glare makes the exposure even worse. Even indoor light can fool you. If you eat breakfast beside a bright window every morning, your eyes still receive repeated sunlight exposure, and many seniors never connect that routine to long-term strain. Researchers also note that certain medicines and conditions can make the eyes more sensitive to light, which means ordinary routines may carry more stress than expected. That does not mean you should avoid daylight altogether. It means you should stop assuming that short, familiar moments are automatically safe, especially when glare bounces from glass and pale concrete. You may think I am outside only 10 minutes, but 10 minutes repeated over months and years becomes a lifetime dose your eyes must absorb. The frightening part is that this process is usually silent. There is no alarm bell, no immediate pain, no obvious warning. Instead, the proteins in the lens can gradually change and clump together, turning a once clear lens cloudy. That is what a cataract is. At the same time, the retina can face repeated oxidative stress, like delicate film being slowly overexposed. And because the body cannot simply swap in a brand new natural lens, that damage matters. Now here is the relief. You are not helpless. Protective steps are simple, and they work best before symptoms become severe. Sunglasses that block 99 to 100% of UVA and UVB rays. A broad-brimmed hat, avoiding long midday exposure when possible. And keeping regular eye exams can dramatically reduce unnecessary strain. Even on cloudy days, UV can still reach your eyes. And that surprising detail leads straight into the next part, because the real story is not just sunlight itself. It is how aging eyes become more vulnerable to it with every passing year. As we get older, the eye changes in ways most people never think about. You notice your knees, your back, maybe your hearing, but the lens inside your eye and the retina in the back of the eye are aging too. And that makes the same daily light exposure far more important after 60. According to the National Eye Institute, more than half of Americans age 80 or older either have cataracts or have had cataract surgery. That number alone should stop you in your tracks. Think about the last time you stood in your driveway, squinting into the afternoon sun while unloading groceries. It feels like nothing. Yet, repeated exposure over many years can contribute to a disease process that clouds vision, increases glare, fades colors, and makes driving at night much harder. And this is only one side of the problem. The other side sits deeper in the eye, in the macula, where your sharp central vision lives. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says age-related macular degeneration is the leading cause of vision loss and blindness for Americans age 65 and older. That means the part of your vision used to read bills, recognize a grandchild's face, thread a needle, or see a lane line while driving is exactly the part most at risk. And if you think this only matters on vacation, think again. The daily walk from the parking lot, the afternoon on the porch, or the sunny seat by the window can matter because your eyes remember exposure long after you forget the moment. The problem is not one dramatic day. It is thousands of ordinary days stacked together, and those are exactly the days most people ignore completely. Medical experts have consistently warned that smoking, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, family history, and aging all matter here. But what happens inside your body at this point would shock most people. Light stress and oxidative damage do not announce themselves. They build quietly, like rust forming under paint. The World Health Organization says an estimated 15 million people are blind due to cataracts worldwide, and some 10% of those cases may be linked to ultraviolet exposure. That does not mean every sunny walk leads to blindness. It means repeated exposure is not trivial. It matters. The relief is that modern medicine also gives us clear guidance. Eye protection is not complicated. Early detection matters. Cataract surgery is common and often restores vision, and when macular degeneration is caught early, progression can sometimes be slowed with medical care, monitoring, and in some cases targeted vitamins or treatment. So this is not a message of doom. It is a wake-up call. When you understand the stakes, you stop treating sunglasses like an accessory and start treating them like health equipment. But there is a hidden root cause behind this habit that almost nobody explains clearly, and once you hear it, you will never look at a bright day the same way again. The part nobody talks about is this. The danger is not just the spectacular beach day or the blazing summer afternoon. It is the low-level, repeated exposure that sneaks into normal life and slowly wears your eyes down. You walk from the house to the mailbox. You sit by a sunny kitchen window reading the mail. You drive east in the morning and west in the evening with light flooding through the windshield. You stand outside chatting with a neighbor on a cool, cloudy day and assume there is nothing to worry about because the sun does not feel intense. But this is where the hidden root cause begins. You judge risk by brightness and heat, while your eyes are being affected by radiation you cannot see and cannot feel. Ultraviolet light does not need your permission. It does not wait for a heat wave. It can pass through haze and cloud cover, and it becomes even more aggressive around reflective surfaces like water, sand, snow, concrete, and shiny car hoods. Harvard health experts point out that those reflective environments can bounce light right back into the eyes, multiplying exposure. In simple terms, your eyes can be attacked from above and below at the same time. Now add aging to the picture. Over time, the lens proteins become more vulnerable to oxidative stress. The retina, especially the macula, has to handle decades of light exposure and metabolic wear. If you also have diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, smoke exposure, or a family history of eye disease, the risk picture becomes even more serious. And here is the open loop most people miss. Dark lenses alone do not solve the problem. A cheap pair of very dark glasses without proper UV protection may actually make things worse because the darkness can cause your pupils to open wider while still allowing damaging radiation in. That means your eyes may feel comfortable while the hazard continues. The good news is that once you understand the real root cause, the fix becomes much clearer. You are not trying to hide from daylight. You are trying to block the right wavelengths and reduce accumulated damage. That shift in thinking changes everything because protection becomes a daily reflex instead of a seasonal afterthought, and that is where real eye safety begins for you daily. That means wraparound sunglasses with reliable UVA and UVB protection, regular replacement when scratched or degraded, and the habit of putting them on before you step outside, not after the glare already hits. It also means respecting light on cloudy days and during winter, when many people drop their guard completely. So if you have ever told yourself, I am only outside for a minute, or it is not even that sunny, you now know why that thinking can quietly cost you. But knowing the cause is not enough. Next, I want to show you exactly how to build a daily eye protection routine that is simple, realistic, and powerful. So let us turn this into something useful and easy to remember. You do not need a complicated medical plan. You need a small set of habits that fit into the life you already live. Think about your normal week. There is the morning drive, the grocery run, the quick stop at the gas station, the walk with your spouse, the afternoon gardening, the weekend game with the grandkids, and the moments you sit near a bright window sorting papers or reading a message on your phone. Each one seems minor on its own. But together they create the exposure pattern that matters. And this is where the real danger begins to turn into practical relief. The goal is not fear. The goal is control. Health professionals now pay much closer attention to accumulated risk than to single dramatic events. In other words, the eye trouble that shows up after 60 is often the result of tiny decisions repeated for years. That is why your protection routine must become automatic. Keep one quality pair of sunglasses near the front door, one in the car, and one in the bag you take out most often. Make them as essential as your keys. If you are the kind of person who says, "I will remember next time," make the decision easier than memory. Set the glasses beside the medicine organizer, hang the hat near the door, and link eye protection to the routines you already never miss on your busiest days. If you wear prescription glasses, ask about UV protection or fit over wraparound styles that shield the sides as well as the front. Add a broad-brimmed hat when you know you will be outdoors longer than a few minutes. And do not forget that brighter is not the same as more dangerous. Some of the most damaging days are cool, windy, or overcast when you never feel the urge to protect yourself. Picture yourself leaving a restaurant at midday, talking with friends in the parking lot, smiling, comfortable, totally unaware that light is reflecting off the pavement and windshield into your eyes. That is exactly how cumulative injury hides in plain sight. Here is the reassuring part. Small protections really can lower unnecessary exposure. According to research highlighted by major eye health institutions, the combination of UV-blocking eyewear, hats, and regular exams gives you a meaningful advantage. Then there is the second half of the routine, and it matters just as much. You must watch for changes early. If headlights suddenly bloom at night, if colors seem duller, if straight lines look bent, if you need brighter light to read, if the center of the page looks smudged, do not wait and hope it passes. Schedule the exam. The earlier a doctor sees cataract changes or macular problems, the more options you usually have. And what I'm about to tell you next matters even more, because choosing sunglasses is where many smart people accidentally make a costly mistake. When most people buy sunglasses, they focus on style, color, or how dark the lens looks. That is understandable. You try them on under store lights, glance in the mirror, and think these look fine. But the number one rule is not darkness. It is protection. You want lenses that clearly state they block 99 to 100% of UVA and UVB rays. If the label is vague, skip them. If the lenses are dark, but do not promise real UV protection, skip them. That is the difference between comfort and actual safety. Think about the last time you drove home late in the afternoon with the sun dropping low across the road. You tilted the visor, squinted, maybe held up a hand, and told yourself you would be inside soon. That is exactly when proper eyewear matters, because glare and UV exposure can arrive together. Wraparound frames or larger lenses help because they reduce light entering from the sides. Polarized lenses can make glare from water or pavement more comfortable, but here is what many people never realize. Polarization is not the same thing as UV protection. You need both if you want comfort and safety. Another mistake is saving your best pair for special occasions. The eyes do not care whether you are on vacation or just walking from the supermarket to the car. They only register exposure. If you already have cataracts, dry eyes, diabetes, or high blood pressure, protecting your eyes consistently becomes even more important. According to research published by leading health institutions, combining UV protection with routine eye care gives you a stronger long-term strategy than relying on sunglasses alone. That is why the simple habit has to become automatic before your shoes even touch the porch or the garage floor in sunlight each day outside. If you are watching this and you regularly step outside without proper eye protection, I want you to write the number 1 in the comments below. You would be surprised how many good people share this habit. Now let us make the habit easier to break. Keep your sunglasses where the habit begins, not where the habit ends. Put them by the door, not in a drawer. Leave a pair in the car, not in a closet upstairs. If you wear prescription lenses, talk with your eye care professional about photochromic options, clip-ons, or prescription sunglasses that truly block UV. And remember, sunglasses are only one layer. A broad-brimmed hat adds another shield, especially when the sun is high or reflecting off nearby surfaces. The relief here is simple. You do not need perfect conditions. You need consistency. Protect your eyes on cloudy days, winter days, and quick errand days. That is how you lower lifetime exposure. And there is one more crucial step many people skip even when they finally start wearing good sunglasses. They still wait too long to get their eyes examined, and that delay can cost far more than they realize. Even the best sunglasses cannot tell you what is already changing inside your eyes. Only an eye exam can do that. This is why regular dilated exams become so important after 60. The lens can cloud gradually, and the retina can change quietly long before you realize how much vision you are compensating for. One eye may worsen, while the other eye masks the difference, so you keep reading, cooking, and driving without realizing something serious is developing. Picture yourself at the kitchen table paying bills. You move the paper closer, then farther away. Later that night, on the road home, headlights suddenly seem to explode into starbursts. You blame fatigue. You blame dirty glasses. You blame age in a vague, harmless way. But this is where the real danger begins. Symptoms that feel small can signal cataracts, macular degeneration, or other eye disease that deserves prompt attention. Studies from major public health organizations suggest that early detection gives doctors a far better chance to slow progression, recommend treatment, or help you adapt before independence is affected. That matters because vision loss after 60 is not just about eyesight. It can change the way you move through your morning, the way you cook, and the way you trust yourself in public. People often underestimate how much confidence lives inside clear vision until they start losing it. The encouraging truth is that many problems become far more manageable when they are found early. Doctors can monitor changes, adjust treatment, recommend low vision tools, and help you protect the sight you still have. Waiting, on the other hand, gives silent disease more time to interfere with the independence you worked so hard to build over decades. It can affect driving, balance, confidence, social life, and even mood. People with central vision loss often struggle to read medication labels, recognize faces, and enjoy favorite hobbies. The fear is real, but so is the relief. Cataract surgery is one of the most common procedures in the United States and often improves vision dramatically. Dry macular degeneration cannot simply be erased, but early monitoring, risk reduction, nutrition guidance, smoking avoidance, and timely treatment of wet forms can make a meaningful difference. So, take action before your vision forces the decision for you. Ask for a dilated eye exam every 1 to 2 years, or more often, if your doctor recommends it because of diabetes, family history, blood pressure, or existing symptoms. If straight lines look wavy, if colors seem faded, if glare gets worse, if the center of words disappears, or if your glasses prescription keeps changing, do not brush it off. Call. Make the appointment. The part nobody talks about is how empowering this can feel once you stop delaying. You go from passive to proactive. You stop hoping nothing is wrong and start protecting what matters. And after everything we have covered, there is one final truth I want to leave with you, because it may be the most important part of all. Today, you learned that the habit seems small, the danger develops quietly, and the damage often builds long before symptoms become impossible to ignore. You learned that sunlight is not just brightness. It is exposure that accumulates across errands, gardening, driving, and everyday moments near reflective surfaces. You learned that the lens, the retina, and especially the macula can all be affected over time, and that cataracts and age-related macular degeneration are not distant problems reserved for someone else. But here's the most important takeaway. You are not powerless and you are not too late. Every time you choose real UV protection, wear a broad-brimmed hat, keep up with your eye exams, and respond early to changes like glare, blur, halos, or distorted lines, you give your future self a better chance to keep reading, driving, recognizing faces, and enjoying the life you love. I share this with you because I genuinely want you to be here, healthy, independent, and full of confidence for the people who count on you and the moments that still deserve your clear attention. Your eyesight is not just another health metric. It is how you see your family smile, how you move safely through your home, how you notice beauty, and how you stay connected to the world. Maybe nobody ever told you that eye damage often grows in ordinary daylight, not just in extreme heat, and maybe that is why this habit lasts so long. But now you know better. Protection is not vanity, it is prevention. A good pair of UV-blocking sunglasses by the door can be as important as the pills in your cabinet or the seatbelt in your car. Getting your eyes checked before you panic is one of the kindest things you can do for yourself. Small actions repeated consistently can preserve something priceless. Imagine keeping the ability to read birthday cards, see your partner across the room, spot a grandchild's expression, and walk through your own home with confidence because you chose not to ignore the warning signs. That future is worth protecting. So tonight, place your sunglasses where you cannot miss them tomorrow, call for the exam you have been putting off, and pay attention to the glare, blur, halos, or missing spots that signal your eyes need help. The sooner you act, the better chance you have to keep living fully and independently. So please take this seriously, but do not leave this video afraid. Leave informed. Leave encouraged. Leave ready to make one simple change that can protect you for years to come. If this helped you today, share it with someone you love. And if you want more honest, simple guidance like this from Dr. Arthur Bennett, stay with us. We will be here every step of the way. But before you go, ask yourself one question honestly. Will you keep treating sunglasses like an accessory, or will you start treating them like the protection your eyes truly deserve?